You got Jared Goff, Aiden Hutchinson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Penei Sewell. There's 4 guys right there. Arguably top 5 at their position. Really unarguably. You might be able to argue Jared Goff out of there, but that's where his numbers have been the last 3 years. He's actually number 1 when it comes to touchdowns and wins. Jared Goff, Aiden Hutchinson, he's top 5. No one's going to argue it out of there. Amon-Ra St. Brown, you're not going to argue him out of the top 5 unless you're an idiot. Unless you want to, unless you don't want to use facts. You're not going to argue Amon-Ra St. Brown out of the top 5. Penei Sewell, I don't think that you could argue him out of the top 3. Jameson Williams, yeah. You can have an argument there with me. Kirby Joseph, top 5 at his position. These are the guys that we're paying. Ali McNeil, top 5 at his position. You couldn't argue him out of the top 10. You might have Taylor Decker next year. They have him under contract, but his contract is definitely on the backslide. I don't think that you're going to extend Taylor Decker, especially if he wants $20 million at this point. And then David Montgomery. I think the replacements are already on the team for the future. So that's what I like about this team and the way that it's set up. You're set up for now, and you're set up for the future. And this right here is something that Lion fan isn't used to. Think about it. Before Brad Holmes got here, when the hell did any of the Lions players, even if they were good, that they drafted, get second contracts at all? Those guys were hyping up and getting ready to ship town 2 years before their contract. They weren't going to re-sign here. Everybody knew leading up that Ndamukong Suh wasn't going to sign here. Oh, I want to be there. You don't want to be here. We know you don't want to be here. You say you want to be here because that's what you say when you're in front of the podium. But nobody wanted to remain here. And now we're not only are we keeping the guys and signing them to long-term deals, half of them are giving us discounts. And you can't tell me for 1 second that Aiden Hutchinson couldn't have got $50 million. Could have waited. He didn't have to sign this contract with us early. $45 million. He came in underneath Parsons on purpose. As an agent, you got to be the biggest at something. So they gave him a little more guaranteed money than Parsons. Parsons got $2 million more a year. That's because Hutchinson cares more about winning than being the highest paid. And you never had this before. You got guys that want to play here. There you go. Hutchinson said this, and this is probably the main reason why we won't. And this is something that Johnny Gaz brought up the other day, and I agree with him. Hutchinson could have pulled a Hendrickson, and the reason why he doesn't want Hendrickson is because Hendrickson isn't one of us. The Lions don't want a guy that would hold out and put himself above the team. Want to win championships. Now, Hutchinson got paid good. I'm not saying that he's like Mother Teresa over here and he's playing for $5. He could have gotten 50. Literally every other player in the NFL, when their contract is up, whether they're the best at their position or not, when you're next, you're the highest paid. That's the point. That's the point I'm trying to make. I'm not trying to get into semantics. I'm not trying to prove that he's Mother Teresa over here. I'm trying to prove that he could have gotten more. He could have waited. The fifth-year option was already there. They could have waited until in the season, at the end of the season, during the off season, and negotiated this contract. I guarantee that he could have gotten more money that way. Everybody told me 4 years, $200 million. That's what it was. 4 years, $200 million that's what it's going to be. It's going to be $50 million. Yeah, now look, Parsons signed first. Now the Lions are screwed. They're going to pay $50 million a year. They didn't. They gave him some. Aiden Hutchinson gave us somewhat of a very small hometown discount. Gave him a hometown discount. He could have got $50 million. And if you could get $50 million and you take 47, and really it's 45 when you add all the numbers together, and the way that the contract is set up, it's really, really easy to renegotiate or get out of, too. It's a very brilliantly done contract, and we went over that yesterday. So when you look at the future of the Lions, man, I mean, that's what you want to have happen. This is the best case scenario for any team. This is a blueprint right here for the rest of the NFL. This is how you win. Now, did they pick the right guys? That remains to be seen. We'll see if they pick the right guys, but this is how you want to build a franchise. You want to draft your players, you want to develop your coaches and all the personnel, and then you want to be able to compete long term. And the Lions have done both. This right here, this graphic that I have shows this is the foundation. That's 9 players. The foundation is set. And you're going to add, and you're in no danger of not being able to sign these other guys. It's hilarious to me to talk to people that say, oh, no, Aiden Hutchinson got signed. No, nobody else is going to get signed. Bullshit. I call bullshit. They're going to be able to sign all of them. Oh, you're going to have to choose now between Branch and Laporta and Gibb. No, I'm not. We're signing all of them. All of them. For 3 years, none of these contracts really even hit. You can renegotiate Goff's contract. You can renegotiate Sewell's contract. You can add years to them, lower the cap number. This is they're going to have this crew around until 2030. And the thing is if it works, it can work multiple times. This is a monster franchise that's getting built here. All of those guys are still young going into their prime. The biggest difference between guys that the Lions used to sign, they used to sign free agents for big money that had already won somewhere else. The difference is now the Lions are drafting, developing these elite players, and they're signing them going into their prime. Penei Sewell isn't even in his prime yet. You kidding me? People tell the window's closed. The window hasn't even opened yet. The Lions window hasn't even fully opened yet. And you're telling me that it closed. It doesn't. No, it's just now opening. 2022 was your only. No, wasn't the only chance. That was the first year. I'm not guaranteeing a Super Bowl, but I'm saying that this team is only going to get better, and that's without even adding players. Hutchinson's going to get better. 25 years old. You got these guys just going into their prime, and you got them locked up. You know, if you need some money, Penei Sewell's the guy that you can go to. Penei Sewell's contract, I mean, I think that he has a base salary next year of like $28 million. They could lower his. I mean, all they need to do is add a couple years on the back end. I mean, you're going to keep Penei Sewell? Yeah. That's a no-brainer. Could save some money. Boom. $25 million they could get just from Penei Sewell if they need it. Well, there's Laporta and Gibbs. Oh, we just restructure and add a couple years to Amon-Ra too. Okay, well, there's another $25 million. There's Jack Campbell. Done. Easy peasy. Brad Holmes has set this up to knock it down. And if you think that I'm wrong on that, just look at the Philadelphia Eagles. They've proven that the cap is fake. Oh, move some stuff around. We can go. They tried to get Micah Parsons. And they're so far over the cap, it's ridiculous. You got good guys, you can keep them. I used to be on the side of cap. I used to watch the cap so close and trying to figure out, they're not going to be able to work these numbers out. And then they do. And then I'm just sitting there going, damn, I didn't think they'd be able to do that. Why didn't we do that? Right there. You think that's going to be that it's going to be more? No, the cap hit for Hutchinson next year is $10 million. As a matter of fact, the cap hit is $10 million less because he signed the extension. His cap hit would have been $20 million because he was on a 5th-year option. That's fully guaranteed, the whole thing. I don't know what the 5th-year option would have been, somewhere around $20 million. Still been a good deal for Hutchinson. That's the great thing about signing these contracts. That now, if you look at the way Parsons' contract is set up, there's no money to squeeze out of his anywhere. His base salaries are $1 million, $1 million, $1 million for the next 3 years. There's no extra money. There's no restructuring that they can do for the Parsons contract. They squeezed every penny out of it that they could right off the bat. They didn't do that here. Our contracts are front loaded. That gives us options on the back. And most people sign their contracts to where they're backloaded, to where it's almost like when you look at the Philadelphia's, they screwed themselves on a couple of contracts late, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that they are screwing it up late, because right now they're competing for titles. And if you got a window to compete for titles with these elite players, you do it. You do it. And I'm glad that we are doing it with our own guys. And they're not going outside of the organization. Why won't the Lions go and trade for a big name? This is why. Because we want to keep our guys. Blood, sweat, and tears. He's been here since 2022. You want that. Broski says it right here. Adding years to contracts, giving players more guaranteed money now, etc. GMs find a way to manipulate the cap and make it work. And now these void years, this thing that they've been doing for the last few years, that's another complete layer to it. Yeah, and here, right here, Jeremy. At least we're not like the Browns. Well, look at what the Browns did, Jeremy. And this is crazy. I'm not trying to give them any kind of credit, because the contract they gave to Deshaun Watson that they're still taking it up the rear for. But think about that. You got Deshaun Watson, you got Myles Garrett on your team, you're paying cornerbacks, you have your contracts in a mess, but somehow, even that, despite all of that, you were able to sign Myles Garrett to $40 million a year. The cap is fake. It ain't even real. Yeah. Next year, after the Watson hit, they'll start at $11 million in cap space. And when they get their $20 million raise for the year, like the cap keeps going up by $20 million every year, they'll cover that. It's like they find ways around it. And I'm glad that we actually have players that are worth paying at this point in time when you look at it. And now, when you can see the numbers, like go look at the numbers, go to Spot Track, go to Over the Cap, and check that out. Go check out the numbers, and you'll see how they are going to be able to keep Branch, Laporta, and Gibbs on top of all this, and Campbell. They'll sign all these guys. You want to keep those core guys that are in there. And then when you're drafting, like I can see our drafts changing quite a bit going forward, because, you think of 2021, I mean, every guy that you needed to draft free agent, we're looking for starters. We're looking for anybody that can play in bodies. Now there ain't room on the team no more. So it's going to be, can you continue to add talent that isn't super expensive? And honestly, I think that that's Brad Holmes' best attribute as a GM. Even more than him being able to find, late round gems and whatnot. This dude evaluates talent, and he gets undrafted free agent guys making $1.50 that can play. I mean, I was so utterly impressed with the last win that they had, and it wasn't just beating Tampa Bay and who they were. Baker Mayfield playing at MVP level, and you beat him. You beat a MVP candidate with Mike Evans coming back, and he was back at the beginning of that game with Mbuke, and the Legion of Whom shut him down. The Legion of Whom 2.0. They shut him down. That gave me more confidence in this Lions team than any of these other signings. Because the thing is if our guys get injured, we know that we have the next man up that can handle it. And I should have learned it from last year when they lost Hutchinson and Aleem, and they still won 15 games. I should have learned it last year. But I got that PTSOL, that post-traumatic same old Lions, just waiting for some bad shit to happen. Damn you! Damn you, Scuba Steve! But they did it again. They go grab a dishwasher and a guy that was driving a cab. Get out there and play some secondary. Shut down Mike Evans. Okay. All right. Didn't think that was going to work, and it did. That right there should give Lion fan way more confidence than, yes, obviously sign your good players. The ones that we know that are good, we want to sign them. I get that. That's easy. That's the frosting on top of the cake. You want to find good players and re-sign them. But when you can find, UDFAs like Al-Quadin Muhammad, like Tyrus Wheat, Nick Whiteside, and Harper, you got these. And you can get these guys to come in and play, and they can play just as good as your starters, or in last week's case, better. I'm glad that Branch admitted it. I'm glad that Branch admitted that the undrafted free agents and the guys that they brought in off the practice squad played better than him and Kirby and Terrion. The ones that we put our trust in, the backups came in and showed them that being fundamentally sound can be better than somebody that's just got all the physical attributes. Because from what a cornerback can do, Terrion Arnold should be like running circles around Nick Whiteside just from pure talent alone, but he didn't, because Nick Whiteside plays the game. He plays the defense that Calvin Shepard does. He does what he's supposed to do. He is in the right spot at the right time. He knows how to play man coverage without getting the penalty. So, there. Man, that was a 20-minute rant. But this is the Lion Villain Report. Hutchinson got paid. Lions playing the Vikings at home on Sunday.
Oh, yeah, the Macho Man Randy Savage. Yeah, the 313 Villain Squad. That's the UDFA, yeah, of sports podcasting, yeah. Find them on YouTube, yeah. Find them on Facebook, yeah. The UDFA, yeah. The top rope, the top of Ford Field. The Macho Man's gonna climb up, and yeah, he's gonna deliver the Macho Man elbow right there. Justin Jefferson, you're gonna get one, 2, 3, yeah, dig it.
This episode is brought to you by Fanatics.com. Yeah, that's right. If you are rocking with the 313 and you bleed Honolulu blue, then you need to gear up like the real one over at Fanatics. That's right. Whether it's Lions jerseys, Tigers jerseys, championship belts, man, even if you like one of those crappy other teams from the north, like the Bears and the Packers and the Vikings, you can use that QR code right there. Save up to 25% off of your order. Every click supports this channel and the page and lets the world know that Detroit fans, they do it bigger and they do it better. The Villain Squad don't do knockoffs. We do official. We do Fanatics. Get yours. Connect with me on all of the social medias right here. If you're a fan of Detroit fans right here, if you're a fan of Detroit sports and you like doing a little bit of trash talk, then you need to connect with me right here. Liking, commenting, and sharing. That helps us get up in the algorithm. I appreciate anybody that does that. And we're over 93,000 on the Facebook page. Just crossed over 1,000 on the YouTube page. Things are rolling. Wherever you scroll, the villain rolls. That's right. And it's faith, family, then football on here. We use football. We don't let football change us. Use football to spend time with your family and create memories. Don't let football use you. And may the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord shine his face upon you until we meet again in Jesus' name. Amen.